This is the Hymer BMC T600. B for B-Class, MC for modern comfort, T for low profile, 600 for twin beds in the back. It's a mix of Mercedes and Hymer, so it could be a match made in heaven. Sounds impressive. Some of us aren't quite so impressed, but let's go and have a look. Build quality is absolutely top notch. The garage here just sort of sums it all up in a lot of ways. 350 kilo load capacity. Lovely solid big door to it. There's another door the other side, and it's all part of the bodywork that's made by Hymer to its Pual technology. That's just on the outside. Let's go and have a look inside as well, because it's just as impressive. This latest Mercedes cab really is getting to be something special. The leather steering wheel itself might be an option, but I think it's one most people will go for. Lots of controls to it, it's all very intuitive, and then you've got this fantastic multimedia system on the dashboard. As you can see, everything falls to hand nice and conveniently, and it's going to be a real pleasure to drive. Now, and again, a sort of typical Hymer hallmark is how subdued the noise is when you're driving. That's down to not just the quality of the fittings, but also how Hymer make their motorhomes. So no rattles as such. And then it's all down to Mercedes after that. This has the 143 brake horsepower engine, so there's plenty of poke. It's got the 6-speed manual gearbox as standard, but I think majority of owners will want the automatic transmission, which really is super smooth. This latest Sprinter also is front-wheel drive. Most of the living is going to be here up front, where you've got swiveled cab seats. They're particularly easy to swivel, so that's great. Inward facing seat here, and then on this example, L-shaped settee. Normally it would be just a bench, but you can have that L-shaped as an extra. Sunroofs overhead, both opening, including a typical wind-up Hymer unit over the lounge and the kitchen. Not so many windows either, so sometimes that's good on a hot day like today, sometimes not so good when you want extra daylight coming in. As I say, it's two single beds at the back, slightly longer on the near side, slightly short on the off side. Neat little touch is the plastic panel between the two beds, so that acts as a shelf. There's lockers overhead, very comfortable mattresses, and a wardrobe under here, and a really neat little step for getting up into bed. The kitchen is a bit of a squeeze, admittedly, not least because Hymer have to put in a full cooker for the UK. We expect that, so 3-ring gas hob with separate grill and oven. The sink is to the fore here, so the permanent worktop is behind it. This sink cover is really rather clever. It sits on there, or it's a chopping board, or it acts as a splash guard for the sink itself. There's also a splash panel here, some extra main sockets, some excellent storage, it has to be said, including right down at the bottom where some manufacturers might put a locker, is actually drawers. It's a typically well-appointed Hymer washroom as well, although one unusual feature is that it's got a bench toilet rather than the usual swivel bowl. Now, a bench toilet is actually easier to keep clean, believe me. Elsewhere, you've got a shower cubicle with folding doors. It's rather unusual shape to make the most of the space available. There's a fixed basin as well, and storage is particularly good, as is ventilation. Typically Hymer, really. There are details everywhere you look on this vehicle. There's the hatches in the floor, numerous hooks almost everywhere you look. 2 settings for each of these reading lights, nighttime and normal reading. The lockers have a 2-tone finish and a particular easy to use catches. Little hidden away lights up in the overcab section as well. The list just goes on and on and on. It really is impressive. So that's the Hymer BMCT 600. It is a lot of motorhome, but you have to pay for it and you have to know what you want because there's that extensive options list to go through. Having said that, it's a quality vehicle.